Welcome back to my channel, YouTubers. Today we will be talking about 9 ways to build wealth. Now, before we get started, I'm not a financial consultant of any means, but throughout my years, I noticed certain things that majority of these financial gurus believe in and stand for. And some of the things that I notice in every financial guru like Singletary, Susie Orman, Dave Ramsey, they all have this particular formula that they pretty much abide by. And some of those formulas are in my 9 ways to build wealth. So let's begin. So there's 9 ways to build wealth. Now, the first way in order to build wealth is through creating a budget. Now, what's the purpose of creating a budget? The purpose of this is to find out what expenses that you may have that you're accruing, and what are some ways to stop those certain expenses to continue occurring in your daily life. Okay, so let me give you an example. Alright, so say you have the cable company special where you have the cell phone, no, not the cell phone, but the home phone, the cable, and the Wi-Fi. Now, we know those specials usually are under $100, but with tax and everything it comes out to almost $130. Now, we all know at the end of that year or 2 years, the price is going to go up, right? Now, you realize after time that you don't use the phone as much, the home phone, right? And then you realize that you really don't have time to really watch over 1,000 channels, right? So after that time is up, I realized that the special was no longer a special, and the price went up to almost $200. So if you budget, you realize that you can control certain expenses that you may accrue, right? So I looked at that cable bill and realized that, do I really need over 1,000 channels that I probably majority may see maybe 4 or 5 channels out of the week? And do I really use my home phone? Even in the case of emergency, I still use my cell phone. So that's one expense that you can decide to take away from your expense for each month and save over $100 some odd, right? So that's one way, creating a budget to see what expenses, what things that you are buying are paying on each month, and then look over that budget and see if you can cut back on particular expenses to help you save more money, where you can use that money. And I'll go into further depth with the money that you save. So the first thing, one, is creating a budget. The next thing is, once you start saving money, you want to put your money in a banking account that has a much higher interest rate on your money. So basically a particular bank usually gives you 1.1, 1.2% in the savings account. But if you can find a banking checking account online where you can put that money, and you can find a banking online that has a much higher interest rate that you can make on your money, that is where you want to go, instead of putting your money in regular savings or checking account, because you won't receive that much interest on your money that you put into your bank account. Because we all know that the banks take your money and loan it out to other people, companies, people who want to take out a loan out of the bank, and they charge them a high interest rate, right? But yet on that money that you have in the bank, you barely receive any interest off that. So they're making money off your money, but yet you're not making money off your money. So if you can, try to find banking online where they give you a much higher interest rate. That's one way. That's the second way, that is, to make more money, to help build wealth. The third way of building wealth is by paying off your debts. So debts will be credit cards, mortgage, student loans, car notes. Okay, so if you get extra money throughout the month, if you can, start having that money, majority of that money, go towards paying off your debt, because once you pay off your debt, then you pretty much receive a raise, automatic raise, because now you're saving that extra $200, extra $300, extra $400 that you're putting towards that particular debt. Now you can take that money and save more of it. Okay, so that's 3. Number 4 is, if you work for a particular company, you can invest in their 401k. Now, you hear from Susie, you hear from Singletary, you hear from Dave Ramsey and many others, okay? This whole idea of investing in your 401k if you have a particular career or job, right, where the company has a 401k. And that is a way to invest in the stock market. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but if you have any money in your 401k, you are investing in the stock market. So you pretty much are investing. It's not just saving your money, but you're taking that money, you're putting in your company, they're matching it, maybe 50% of what you put in. Okay, you have a certain percentage that you put in, they match it to at least 50%, and you take that money and you invest in the stock market. So you're investing. So that's another way to build wealth. So that was number 4. Now, number 5 is opening up a Roth IRA or a traditional Roth IRA. Now, here's the deal with a Roth. Now, if you were to invest that money into a Roth, the extra money that you make from that money, if you invest it, you are not taxed on that extra money. You see how that works? So once you retire, that extra money is not taxed, and you can do whatever you want with that money after you retire. Okay, as far as the traditional, you are taxed on traditional Roth IRAs, but you are taxed in the beginning. So those are 2 different ways of building wealth, and that's number 5, okay, to help you build wealth. Now, in order to open up a Roth IRA or traditional Roth IRA, you can go to the bank, you can open up a broker's account, and basically what you can do is go through companies like TD Bank, you can go through Schwab, you can go through E-Trade, you can go through Robinhood, so all these different Scottrade, so all these different broker companies, you can open a broker's account. As long as you have money in a savings account, checking account, you can link that to your broker account, and you can take that money and you can invest in the stock market. So you can invest it in your individual stock, or you can invest into a Roth IRA or a traditional Roth IRA. It's up to you, but those are another forms of building wealth. Okay, now number 6, and this is I'm sharing with you, and you have to realize that usually these financial gurus, a lot of them are coming out nowadays, and a lot of them are trying to sell you books, and they just write this information in a book and sell it to you, or they go ahead and try to form some type of company where they try to get people to sign up to their membership, and they'll show you how to invest and yada yada yada. I'm going to show you I'm going to pretty much teach you how to invest for free. I'm not going to try to take your money. I'm not going to have you sign up to a membership. I'm not going to write a book and try to sell you. I'm just going to tell you how to go about doing it. Now, would I tell you what kind of stocks to buy? That's a different story, but I can get you started at least without having you pay me some type of membership or buy a book off of me. Okay, number 6 is investing in the stock market. That's another way to build wealth, and I'm pretty sure you heard a lot of people talking about investing in the stock market, and you know, those who don't invest are the ones who pretty much are not able to make an income or prepare for their future. So with that being said, and it's true, you don't have to put in thousands of dollars to invest in the stock market. You can put 10, 20, up to $100 or more each month. It depends on how much you can afford, how much you're willing to invest into the stock market. Now, before we get started with investing in the stock market, you have to understand when investing, this is money that you can do without. So if you make more money from the money you invest or you lose it, it's something where you have to look at it as a loss, because you may make money from it or you may not. Okay, so this is money that you can put into the stock market where you won't feel that if you was to lose it, that okay, you just could still be stable, you still be okay without that money being around. Okay, so if you was to invest in the stock market, like I said, just like the Roth IRA, traditional Roth IRA, you would invest in a broker's account. So you'll link that to your savings account or savings account. You transfer that money over to your broker's account. You'll use that money to buy stock. It's up to you. Now, you have some people who are day traders who sit on a computer, buy a particular stock, and the next couple of hours or the next day they sell it off when it goes up. That's not me. Okay, when I invest, I'm investing for the long haul. I invest over time. Okay, when I first started out 10, 11 years ago, I invested in individual stocks. And when I was investing in individual stocks, I pretty much was following the crowd. You know, I was getting all caught up in the hype of certain particular stocks. Okay, buying the ones that majority of people were buying because of the name, right? Okay, and then I started realizing that these individual stocks, if it was to say, for example, lose 50%, that's 50% of your money gone. Okay, so over time, I started reading books, started listening to other financial individuals, and I realized that when it comes to individual stocks, I believe that one, when the IPO comes out, hold off from buying that IPO. That's the first thing you need to do. Secondly, okay, you need to watch over time how that particular IPO would turn out. Okay, I believe that when it comes to individual stocks, that you wait a couple months, maybe even a couple years to see exactly how that stock would do, because a lot of these stocks, okay, they get you all hyped up when they first come out, but you have to realize that a lot of these companies, they're not making a profit. Okay, so if you was to buy into it, you may not make a lot of money off of your investment, because they're still trying to build and make a profit. For a perfect example, look at Uber right now. Okay, we all know that they're not making any money. Okay, they're selling their IPO stock at like $40 or something. But for me, I would probably wait off, because let me give you some examples why. Like when I give you good and bad examples. Like for example, Facebook, when first Facebook came out, and I bought it for $40 a share. Okay, now eventually it went up all the way to $200 a share. Now, the reason why I sold it off is because, one, okay, there were too many problems with the identity. Okay, identity theft, people, you know, Facebook didn't know how to handle people's identity and selling it to other companies and whatnot. So they were taking hit there. Also, on top of that, Facebook doesn't have a dividend, so if the stock was to go up or down, you know, I can get something on the back end if it has dividends, but it doesn't. So I had to sell that off. Now,